They were supposed to be impenetrable. Towering stone walls, deep moats, and brave defenders. But when ambition, betrayal, and bloodlust clashed, castles fell, and thousands died. These are the deadliest castle sieges of medieval history. Not legend, not fantasy, but brutal, real stories of starvation, disease, fire, and death. In 1215, England was on the brink of civil war. King John, infamous for his cruelty, was challenged by rebel barons demanding freedom. When they seized Rochester Castle, the king laid siege. John's forces surrounded the castle and starved the defenders. But the real horror came next. He mined under a tower, burning pig fat beneath the stone, until it collapsed in flames. Still, the rebels fought on for nearly 2 months. When they finally surrendered, John wanted them hanged, but the sight of starving, broken men swayed even his cruel heart. Built by Richard the Lionheart, Château Galliard was a marvel of military architecture. He boasted it could withstand any siege for years. But in 1203, French King Philip II set out to prove him wrong. Using ingenious tactics, the French found a latrine chute, a sewage tunnel, and crawled through it into the inner bailey. Once inside, chaos erupted. The walls were breached, the garrison slaughtered or captured. Richard's mighty fortress fell in months, not years. It was a humiliating blow to English power in Normandy. In the heart of England, Kenilworth Castle held out for 6 brutal months, the longest siege in English medieval history. The defenders were followers of Simon de Montfort, who had challenged royal power. After his death, they refused to surrender. King Henry III's army surrounded the castle with siege towers, trebuchets, and a floating bridge over the moat. But disease was the true killer. Dysentery, starvation, and cold killed hundreds. Only after the dictum of Kenilworth, a peace treaty, did the defenders finally give up. Though not a castle, Constantinople's walls were the greatest fortifications of the medieval world, 3 layers thick, with towers every 180 feet. But in 1453, the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II brought something new: massive cannons. One, built by a Hungarian engineer, could fire a 1,1200-pound stone ball over a mile. The bombardment lasted 53 days. The final blow came through a breached gate, after which thousands were slaughtered. The fall of Constantinople marked the end of the medieval era and the rise of gunpowder warfare. Beaucaire, France, 1216. A lesser-known siege, but one of the most gruesome. English and French forces clashed in the Albigensian Crusade against heretics in southern France. The castle's defenders were outnumbered, outgunned, and abandoned by their allies. The French dug elaborate tunnels, launched night attacks, and poisoned nearby wells. For weeks the defenders endured. When the French finally stormed the keep, they made an example of the survivors: execution, mutilation, and impalement. Beaucaire became a symbol not of victory, but of what happens when humanity is cast aside in war.